All right, in this video, you're going to discover how to have Facebook tell you exactly how to fix the biggest problem that I'm seeing amongst advertisers on the platform today. Let me tell you what that problem is, and then I'll show you how to fix it real quick here. So, the biggest problem that I'm seeing with my clients and people that are coming to me wanting help with their Facebook ads is they'll get something working, and it'll work for a period of time. Could be a day, could be 3 days, could be a week, and then all of a sudden the performance shifts and it just goes to hell really quickly. And people don't know why. Now, Facebook actually has a tool that's a little bit hidden that will explain why, and it actually gives you the steps inside of it of what you need to do to fix all of this stuff. So let me show you where it is. There's 2 ways that you can get to this. I'm going to show you the way that I'm going to recommend and what you should be watching, because Facebook actually notifies you of this stuff. So the first is in this notifications in your business manager. So you're going to have all these notifications, and if you have any ad sets that are being affected by this, it'll actually tell you that there are changes in an ad set that are affecting the performance, and you can see what changes and get their specific recommendations on how to fix that. You can simply, click on that and it will open in another tab. Or you can make it open in another tab. I did that for that moment. The other way that you can get to this is through on the ad set level. Once there has been 500 impressions on an ad and it's been running for at least a few days, then the delivery insights become available, and you can click this link right here as well. Now, what that does is it actually takes you to the same exact place that this part here that I clicked on took me. All right, so all it does is just takes you to the delivery insights when you click into, one of these things where it's showing you where the ad set is performing bad. It takes you into that delivery insights. All right, so now what we're doing is we're looking at this one particular ad set right here. And these are some charts that help to explain why the performance dipped. So there's a few things that can happen here. You can have the full budget will not be spent, and or your performance of the ad set declines substantially, meaning the costs go up or the conversions just stop happening. And there's basically 4 things that Facebook is telling you that can cause this. Audience saturation, the history on the particular ad, auction overlap, and auction competition. Now, when you click on these things, it'll actually tell you in this box if they think this is an issue for you or not, right? So here, this one, it is indicating that it's an issue because it's telling me what to do if the performance changes, and the performance has changed. The audience saturation here, and we have this little I button where we can read a little bit more about it, right? So what the audience saturation is when the audience becomes saturated because the same people continue to see the ad instead of reaching new people, or when the people that are in the audience, they stop responding to your ad. That's going to cause everything to drop. Now you can see here that according to this chart, when this yellow line or this orange line gets above the blue line, that's when we're getting saturation in here. And it tells you specifically right here how to interpret these changes and the actions that you can take. So it tells you there's a few common issues that can correlate to this, and then it tells you down here that what you can do. So making changes to your audience, your bid, your budget, or your ad creative. Now they're telling you to familiarize yourself with the data and observe the performance, and that's going to guide you in what to change there. Okay, so basically they're telling you if there's an issue with the performance, there's only a few things you can do. You can change the audience, you can change your bid, you can change your budget, or you can change the creative. That's it. Now we can get some other insights as well from these other tabs. So let's go to the activity history. So what they're telling us here is this is just the recent activity in the account, such as changing the bid or budget, so that you can keep an eye on the changes that you're making so that you can see impact the performance over time. So if you wanted to make one of those simpler changes than the creative, like maybe adjusting your bid or changing the audience, it will track that activity in here, and then you can see how it affects on the charts, if it improves the performance or if it stays stagnant or even worse, declines. All right, then you know if that change is having the impact that you're looking for or not. But this is telling us that right now, this is not a reason for the drop in the amount spent on this particular ad set. Because it's telling me the problem with this ad set is it's not spending as much. All right. Now we go to auction overlap. What's auction overlap? That's when your ad set targets part of the same audience as a different ad set in your account. All right. So what that can do then is, when you have this auction overlap, and this is what people talk about a lot with having audience overlap, right? So what can happen when we have these different ad sets running and we're targeting different audiences and we're running big campaigns, we're trying to scale, we can get overlap between these audiences, and you can see that it tells you, by particular ad set, how overlapping you are in any of these particular ad sets. And when this orange line gets to be higher than the blue line, that's when you're having problems with delivery in the auction. And then it tells you right here what to do if auction overlap is affecting the performance of your account. So it says that you can change the targeting criteria. So you change the targeting. You can add exclusions where possible to limit the overlap. Perhaps if there's an audience if this audience is overlapping with this one, then you can edit this particular ad set to exclude this audience so that overlap no longer exists. You can consolidate overall overlapping ad sets, pause the lowest performing ones, and then reallocate the budget into the highest performing. If that overlap exists, there's no reason to have both of the ad sets. You can shut one off and then just put the budget into the best performing one. If you have intentionally overlapping audiences, you can also ignore the problem, just knowing that some of that ad set performance may suffer. So that's why when you're going to be looking at the overall big picture of your entire account, right? If you've got all these audiences and some of them are, overlapping and not necessarily performing, but the whole thing is within your numbers, then you can intentionally not worry about that. Okay. Now, some things you got to think about, and this is where a lot of people can actually create these problems in their account, because most people are launching new stuff all the time, right? So you got something that's working, and then the next day you launch something new, and then your old thing goes to shit. Well, a lot of times launching the new stuff can introduce that auction overlap and make the old thing go to shit. And so you could actually be creating these problems on your own. The last one is auction competition. And what this does is help you understand in the market and detect when there is more competition, which may limit your opportunities to win. Right? So if there's higher competition, then that just means that there's more advertisers out there. And it's telling us right now that competition is probably not the reason for the drop in this account. But if it was, again, they've got that little drop down box and they conveniently tell us exactly what to do to fix the problem if auction competition is an issue. Right? So, maybe changes in your bid affected that. If you're using a bid cap, you might want to raise that. Maybe you need to find different targeting, they're telling you, to find a less competitive audience. Right? Maybe you need to just pause your ad and restart it a few days later. They're actually telling you to do that stuff. And then they give you some other things to consider, right? Like the paced bid reflects the competitiveness of auctions that you win, whereas auction competition reflects the competitiveness of auctions you lose. So, I'm not going to read all these things off, but here's the bottom line. If you use the audience insights like this, you can find out exactly what's wrong with ad sets that all of a sudden have a shift in performance. Facebook actually alerts you up here to it, okay? So that you can then go to that. When you click on this, it'll open up that ad set in the delivery insights right here. It'll tell you where all the problems are, and then it tells you exactly how to fix them. So there really shouldn't be any question on what to do. It's just, how do I go about making those changes? What specifically should I change inside of these elements to try to fix this issue? That becomes the only question. So if you're experiencing those issues right now and you're not using delivery insights like this, you absolutely need to be using it to fix these issues, clean up your account, eliminate auction overlap, combat competition, combat saturation, and make your ads pay for longer. To the Victor Belong the Spoils, this is Jason Hornung. All right, hey, if your business is doing $20,000 to $50,000 per month and you're kind of like stuck in this little spot there. You're running most of the things by yourself. You're doing pretty well, but you don't really have like a team built, and you want to start scaling, and you know that paid traffic's going to allow you to do that, but you're just kind of not sure how to get that whole thing working, and how do you manage all of this along with everything that's on your plate. If that's you, then I've got something for you right now. What we've done is we put a program together that I call the Directive, and it's geared just for people like you that are in your spot right now. It's meant to help you get over that hump and be able to put the processes and systems in place that not only extend across your paid advertising, but also into the back end of your business, so that you can scale up your business to the six-figure mark per month and beyond. That's exactly what this is designed for. And we've got a private group here that we've limited to 30 select entrepreneurs that are in that space right now where you're doing at least $20,000 per month and you want to start putting systems and people in place and start growing and scaling in a time leveraged manner using paid traffic and get to that 6-figure per month mark. We're able to help our customers rapidly get to that mark inside of this program that we call the Directive. Now, like I said, it's limited to just 30 entrepreneurs that fit this criteria. And even though you may have these base criteria here, we still may not be a good fit. So if you're in that spot and you would like to work with me and my team in a one-to-one manner on your ads, your offers, and your funnels, along with the back end of your business so that we can get you in that spot where we can take you from where you are now to 6 figures plus per month, then go ahead and click the link that we're going to put in the comments below this video, and it's going to take you out to a page where you can apply to talk with one of us on the team. You may talk to me, and you may end up talking to one of my other team members who is one of our qualified trainers, also an agency owner, very good friend of mine. We will only work with the best people. You may talk to me or one of those trainers, and we'll talk about your business and see if this is a good fit for you or not. We'll answer all your questions, make it real simple. Like I said, only if you meet that criteria. You got to be doing at least $20,000 per month, and you want to start putting systems and stuff in place so that you can leverage paid traffic and get to 6 figures per month. All right? So if you meet that criteria and you want to talk further, see if the Directive is a good fit for you, fill out the form below. We'll get on the phone, talk with you, see if it's a good fit. If it is, we can talk about what it would look like to move forward so that we can help you more one-to-one, get to where you want to be. To the victor belong the spoils. This is Jason Hornung.